And so now, Paul, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Welcome, you guys, and thank you for having me today. As she said, I'm Paul McCray. I'm a certified business coach with Action Coach of East Texas. And I want to go over today customer service excellence. And this is creating expectations that you can create lifelong customers. Without further ado, we're going to start here with our first slide. And this is one of my favorite quotes. One of my favorite quotes is from Maya Angelou. I'm sure you guys probably have seen this. And it goes like this. It says, people will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And I think this goes right into what we're talking about today, which is customer service excellence. Many customers will always remember great customer service and bad customer service. So if you made them feel great, they're going to remember that. And with that remembrance, that's kind of like what they feel is if they're going to build create a relationship between that customer and your business. So let's go to the next one. All right, so we're going to go through the 4 different types of customers. With the first one is the owners. Of course, the business serves the owners. And then you have the team, and the team is served by paychecks, recognition, and rewards. Then you have the suppliers. Suppliers are served by paying the bill. So your business suppliers are a customer of yours also, which is like business to business. And then you have the proverbial customer. And with this, we are trying to fill these customers' needs. And this mainly the customers we're going to be talking about today. All right. So from this slide right here, this is a slide that I created myself. And I wanted to do this slide because I want you to have a mindset. You know, I want you to be in a certain mindset when we go through these slides. And right here it says, remember, everybody's a customer to somebody, for somebody. That means everybody on this webinar today is a customer to somebody. And you have to understand that in this world, customer service is international. It's now social media customer service, it's online customer service, it's day-to-day customer service. So everybody's a customer to somebody. And also right here, it says customer service 24/7. And I'm not saying you have to, do customer service every day, all day. But what I'm saying is sometimes when you work the 9 to 5, when you get off at 5 o'clock, if you've been given good customer service, customers will walk up to you and talk to you. A lot of times, sometimes they have questions, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just want to greet you because what you've given them is great customer service. Now they feel they have a relationship with you. So that customer service is 24/7, 365, especially for your owners. You owners out there, you guys are always going to be the face of your business more than likely. So customers are going to, always be, recognize you, and they're going to expect you to be, give the great same customer service even outside the business as you do within the business. So that's why I put this here. That's the first poll question. All right, customers have needs and wants. All right, you got to discover. You need to discover what they want and sell them what they need. All right, so I have a quick story on this right here. And so I was in a local retail store a few years ago. And it was a retail store that sold multiple products, but it was a young couple in there. They looking for car seats. And so the customer service agent that was there that day, he took 20 to 15 minutes to figure out which one would be the best one. And he went like this. It went like this. He asked the first question, hey, how are you guys doing today? How can I help you? What are you looking for? And of course, they were in front of the car seats. So they like car seats. And this customer service agent was excellent. I don't know if he had a script or not, but he was excellent. He's like, so is this your first child? And they's like, yes. All right. So are you expecting any more children anytime soon? There's like, no, not probably 2 to 3 years, maybe. And he went on to say, okay, well, these 4 car seats are probably the ones you want. Each one of them have different things. They only have a few different nuances that are different. And the price ranges within this, this, and this. He explained everything. So then he went on one more question. He's like, what kind of car you drive? Are you continue to have that car throughout the time of this child? And it was like, yeah, we recently just bought a car for this reason. And so he goes into the options again. He said, well, these 2 right here are probably best to fit that car. So throughout this experience, he's asking questions. You know, he doesn't know this couple, but he's asking questions. And now this couple feels engaged to this customer service agent. They answered every question. So they feel like this customer service agent really cares about the safety of their child, you know, their financial situation, and cares about their situation as a whole. So they left happy. I know they did. But forever, they're going to always remember how well that customer service agent knew the products, was inquiring about the situation they were in, and gave them exactly what they needed when they walked out the door. And these are the situations that you want to be able to process through your business as a customer service agent. Because what? You're building a relationship. And relationships take communication. And what that customer service agent was doing with that young couple, he was communicating. He was asking questions. People don't always just give you everything up front. They already did most of their research because, you know, everybody knows today's world that most customers are educated customers. They've already done research, reviews, and things of that nature once they come out to your business. But he went in, you know, a couple steps further, asked those questions, those more personable questions that, you know, a lot of people won't give you, but they answered them. And with them answering them, he was able to give them exactly what they needed. And forever, they're going to always remember that situation with that customer service agent and how well he took care of them. And that's called building a relationship. And that's exactly what you need as a foundation to continue to have lifelong customers. And actually, Coach, one of the things we always talk about is deposits and withdrawals. And this is the emotional bank account. Everybody wants deposits, but sometimes we do have to make withdrawals. But what you want to do in your business, you want to make sure that you have way more deposits than you do withdrawals. And what I mean by deposits is positive interactions with customers. Have customers feel like it was a positive experience within your business. And when you build upon those positive experiences, now you have equity. And you have the equity in those positive experiences. So if the customer comes in and one of the products is their favorite, is not on the shelf, that's a withdrawal. But, you know, most times because they have so many deposits, positive deposits, that the withdrawal doesn't affect them as much. And that's what you want to do. You want to build so many positive deposits, build that equity in that customer, that those small little withdrawals here and there doesn't affect them, because we're not perfect every day. It's going to be some times when there's going to be some withdrawals, and you have to make sure that you have enough equity to cover those. All right, see on the screen here, and you know, when you see sneakers, you think about the commercial. Snickers satisfies. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I was hungry, I ate a Snickers, now I'm satisfied. But then the real chocolate lover, if they had an option, they would go for Belgian chocolate, because that's the epitome of great chocolate. And most people, that's what they want. They want great chocolate. They want that Belgian chocolate. So you want to leave your customer satisfied, just with satisfaction, or do you want to delight them? And when you delight your customer, this is when your customer is, you know, going to remember it. It's going to be beyond their expectations. And this is the Belgian chocolate effect. Customers want satisfaction, but they talk about getting more than they expected. And when I was talking about the Belgian chocolate effect, that's what you're doing. You know, they come in, most customers get up in the morning, okay, I got to go get this and I want to do this. All they want to do is make it to the store or make it to a business, wherever they're going during their shopping. And they want to grab that product, maybe a few others, and get out the door. But when you greet them, you ask them questions, you really delve into the reasons that they're there and try to help them make a very educated purchase, and maybe save them money, maybe save them time, whatever it is. If you give them more than what they expected, they talk about that. They're going to go to all their friends and family. Like I went to Widget Warehouse the other day, and man, that guy, Mr. Johnson, was amazing. He showed me all these, gave me all the options. He told me exactly what I needed, which was the best options and the things I needed. And those are the kind of situations you want to create for your customers. You want them to be like, wow, in the fact that your customer service was well beyond any other customer service they had within that industry. All right, so this is a proactive approach. Now, proactive, when we talk about proactive, you're not going to be able to predict every situation when it comes to customers. And that's what most people always bring up. Oh, proactive. How can you be proactive? Well, the way you can be proactive within your team and your business is, educating your team, teaching your team how to, the response or to past history situations. This is how this went down. This is the response. That was a negative response. Maybe this time we can respond this way. Or also, like when you have a customer come in to one of your businesses, you greet them and then you ask them, how can I help you? Can I show you to a product today or what you need? And what you're doing is you're being proactive. Before they can ask you, hey, where is the dish soap? You're like, yes, sir. Can I help you? Maybe I can show you to something that you're looking for today. And that's being proactive. And that's part of your education on your teams. And when I asked you earlier, the team buy-in, that's where you need that team buy-in where they're all on the same page, where they can deliver the same message to that customer and make that customer feel the same way, no matter which one of your customer service agents are there or you as the owner is there. And that's part of being proactive. You also could be proactive with surveys. Some customers do not like surveys. Most people do not. But if they are willing to do a survey, that's a great way to kind of get questions out there to try to help you understand what the customer may need or may not need and what services the customer may not need or do need. And that's a good way to kind of be proactive and try to stay ahead of the curve when it comes to your customers that you have in your business. Innovate, keep getting better. Now on this one right here, I always refer back to different situations where you can be innovative, but you don't always have to think outside the box. Everybody brings that up, and it's kind of almost cliche-ish now. Think outside the box, think outside the box. So everybody's trying to figure out how to think outside the box. One of the things I always tell everybody, if you can't think outside the box or be, innovative, then you create a bigger box. Sometimes your box is probably too small. Maybe you need to expand it instead of trying to think outside of it. Load up your box to enlarge it. And I say that is because situations where like you have these multi-billion-dollar businesses, yes, they can be innovative because their R&D budget is way beyond anybody else's. So they can be very innovative. But when it comes to small businesses or medium businesses, you don't have that kind of budget to be innovative. You have to put your brains together and figure things out. And just for example, I always use like Walmart in this situation because, Walmart's huge now. Of course, they multi-billion-dollar business. But when he first started out, he just wanted low price products, a variety of low price products. That's what, Mr. Lowe was doing. And as time goes on, the world is starting to catch up and he's starting to get more competitors out there. And what he do? He's like, okay, well, I'm not very innovative, but what I can do is I got a lot of money. So I'm gonna go buy this company that makes these things, and I'm gonna put the Walmart name on them. And that wasn't thinking outside the box, really. That was just creating a larger box. And that's why you have it at Walmart as size it is now with, they have just as many of their own products with their name on them as they do products of, outside of their name. So that's what I mean by creating a bigger box. Sometimes your lane or your budget or something like that won't allow you to be too innovative, but you can create a bigger box for yourself by including certain items or certain business platforms or anything like that to make yourself a bigger box. All right, the people leave because, and on the side here, you'll see a few of the percentages and why people leave. I'm not going to go through each one, but the main one we have here is the sixth one. The sixth one is 68% perceive that you don't care. It's perceived indifference. And that's what that means. Perceived indifference means you just don't care. They come to your business, they come to your establishment, they went on your site, and they left customer responses for things that they want you to respond to them for, and you don't. Or they come in your business, your brick and mortar business, and they're just walking around aimlessly and nobody's there to help them. And it makes them feel as if you don't care about them as a person or as a customer. and they would rather spend their money somewhere else where they feel like they are a part of it, or you least care that they dare to spend their hard-earned money in your establishment. And that's where the perceived indifference comes from. That's 68% of the people who leave and not come back to your business. That is the reason they do it. That's a huge thing. And that's the easiest one that you can change. That's so easy to change. All it takes is one person to be, inquire about, hey, can I help you? And it changes the whole perception of the indifference. Winning customer service. This is the things that we talk about in ActionCoach, and it's about winning customer service. It's consistency plus easy to buy, and it creates what you call a wow factor. Now, wow factor is an easy way to put it, but when you combine these two, let's talk about that for a minute. How can you do it? First of all, consistency. Now, consistency to me is when everybody within your business, from the owner down, has the same interaction with customers, have this on the same page. You can talk about the same items the same way. Of course, there are going to be some nuances and differences, but you guys have the same way of conveying that message to that customer that we want your business, we're glad you're here, and we want you to come back. Those are the basic, consistent things you need to do. And when it comes to this, it's one establishment that comes to everybody's mind when you think of great customer service on a daily basis. And I always think of Chick-fil-A. And if anybody's ever been in a Chick-fil-A, I've been in Chick-fil-A's all across the nation. And I guarantee you that you're going to get the same customer service at each establishment from multiple different customer service agents within that organization. And you're going to get the same greetings, the same ending, everything. It's so consistent. They have complete team buy-in when you go in there. And that's what builds consistency, team buy-in. And when I'm talking about team buy-in, it's when you have to have your team, you have to be on the same page. You have to show them what your goals is as an owner. And with that goal, you give them, information on how they can consistently build upon what they're doing every day with customers to reach your goal as the owner, and have them buy in to believe they're a part of this team, they are a part of this business. And without them as an owner, you can't succeed to that goal. And that's basically what has happened with Chick-fil-A. They all have bought in to this idea of Chick-fil-A is going to be the most advanced customer service establishment in the world. We are going to be the best. Everybody's going to always remember us as one of the best customer service establishments. And that's what they have done. And as an owner, those are the kind of things you need to have with your team. You need to have them buy in and believe that without them, that this customer service that we need to establish within our organization, they need to be part of it, and they are part of the team. And that's what that consistency is built upon. It's built upon that foundation of your team or you as the owner establishing these guidelines, teaching them these guidelines, and maybe creating scripts or whatever you need to do to help them reach the goal of the business. Easy to buy. Now, when we talk about easy to buy, most people think about websites or things of that nature. Yes, let's go over that. Websites, mainly the reasons that people find certain websites easy to buy from is a few factors. All right, easily navigatable, if you can have that, easily navigatable. Information readily available about the product or reviews. Then also easy, information where they can put all their information in. It's got to be easy to do that. And also they got to feel secure. They got to feel secure what they put in their personal information, that it won't be sold or, stolen by outside entity. Those are things that make it easy to buy on the website. But you can also do this within a brick and mortar store. Easy to buy is not about being able to find a cash register. No, it's about coming in, you greeting them, you asking them the questions, you leading them to the products that they need, showing them where they are, showing them the differences, giving them options that they might need. And, those things make it easy to buy. They feel like, hey, they really care about my business. And it's easy for me to return there and buy another product from them. That's where the differences is from online to brick and mortar. And I call both of these the positive streamline. That's a positive streamline. Everything in that line, that streamline is positive. And you want to reinforce that positivity and continue to do that. Every time a customer comes in, you want to continue with that consistent behavior to make it easy to buy. And that plus those two together create the wow factor. All right, so how can you do this in your business? Well, one of the easiest ways to kind of create the wow factor outside of doing those necessary steps that I've just talked about is one of the things I always prided myself on was to try to remember names or the products that they chose. You know, hey, Mr. Johnson, welcome back. I see you back. Do you need any more shaving powder or shaving cream? Those kind of things. That gives them that, like, man, oh, he remembered me. He really appreciates me as a customer. I'm so happy I came back here. You know, they really, appreciate me, make me feel like I belong, here. And so those are simple ways, but there's other ways you can do that too. Like we already talked about the consistency to make it easy to buy, those kind of things all come together to create that wow factor. So now we're going to go to the ladder of loyalty. This is the ladder of steps that customers go through to from the bottom all the way to the top and creating that lifelong customer that everybody wants. So we're going to go through it. First is the suspect. Now, what is a suspect? A suspect is the individual who's within your target market within your business. Now, so you've got a few different demographics that you can use for target market, age, social, economic, geographical, those kind of things you can figure out who is your target market, who is not. And with the target market, what you're trying to find is those A and B customers. A and B customers are great customers, return customers, customers that are going to appreciate your products and become eventually what we call as a raving fan, but we'll get to that. So that's the beginning. So now you're just out there, you're trying to find your target market, and these suspects are part of it. So now suspects become a part of what we call the prospects. Prospect, what is a prospect? Well, a prospect has already taken action. They come to your establishment, they come to your website. They've done these things in order to check out. Maybe they don't know exactly what's in there. They're just searching and looking, but they're there. They've already got off the couch. They've come to your establishment. It's just up to you now to convert them into customers. And that happens through great customer service. So this is when you try to collect the information. As you see in the poll question, you say, how often you do that? Well, sometimes it's not so easy to do that with a prospect. So if the prospect never completely, goes through the line or comes through and give you the information, it's hard to get their information at that point in time. But nevertheless, you still try, and if you can't, then we're going to move on. And then hopefully they buy something. And once they buy something, that means they're a shopper now. And this is the opportunity for you to confirm their information if you don't already have it. And this is the reason we do this is now that you have an established line of communication with this customer. It's very easy to send sales things or email to remind them like, hey, we haven't seen you in a while. That's easy because you already got the information. You don't have to go out and seek and just kind of like throw a blanket marketing ad out there. So now you have that lifeline to this customer that already has been there to shop with you. So it's a lot easier, a lot more cost effective to just reach back out to these individuals. And then once you do that, you make them a customer. Customers are repeat shoppers. And not, 60 to 70% of the time, these individuals will convert if they come back a second time, meaning convert to being one of your customers now. So this person is now bought into your business and believe that your business is somewhere they want to spend their money on. So that is what a customer is. So now you have the information. Now you know they're repeat customers. So what you're going to do next, create what they call a member. And you do this with member kits. Now, some of the industries are really great at this, and we all know a few of them. And of course, rental cars, hotels, uh, airlines, they are great at making these individuals or these customers into members. They give these member kits, or you get so many points for this, so many points for that. And it's a great way to make people feel like they belong. When people feel like they belong to something, they believe in it, they want to be a part of it, they're going to continue to give you that opportunity to get their business. And as long as they feel like they belong, it's a great feeling for them. So this is the way you do that with members kits. Next side is the advocate. What's the advocate? Okay, well, in this day and age, with all the social media platforms, advocates are everywhere. Your product can be seen in Japan, all the way from East Texas. Just because somebody might have a couple friends from there, then they bought something from your establishment, put a picture on there, and said they liked it, this, and this. So they're sharing your products or your services online throughout the world. And this is what an advocate does. So they'll retweet it, they'll share it, they'll like it, they'll leave reviews, they'll tell a friend. This is an advocate. And with advocates, they get results. So that individual who that now just seen this in Japan might go on your website and order something. Now, they didn't talk directly to this person, but what they did was they shared it on the social media platform. And now you have a customer from Japan. All right, now the top of the rung here is what we call a raving fan. Now, what is a raving fan, you might ask? So a raving fan is not somebody that's into football, but you do have those. But a raving fan is an individual who do the selling for you. It's almost like free marketing. It is the best marketing material I've ever seen in my life is when you establish raving fans. And with those raving fans, you just try to do the best you can to continue to keep them. And how do you do that? You give them position and rewards. And what I mean by that, say, for example, you have a gold standard, a gold member, platinum member, and then according to wherever their standard is or what position they're in, they get certain things from you that other people can't get. And that creates that, I am valuable to this business. So they'll continue to be a Raven fan. So now Raven fans are the individuals that's going to be dragging mom, dad, uncle, sister, brother, all friends. They're going to be dragging them into your business, or, never stop talking about how great your business is, or how great your customer service is. These are Raven fans. This is, like I said earlier, this is the pinnacle of a customer. And this is what you want to create. And also, when you do these referrals, now one of the apps I've seen that's great at referrals was this app called Acorns. Acorns will send out blast emails, and it'll say about referral. If you send 5 friends, you refer 5 friends, and they create an account, you get $100. Those kind of things. And then tomorrow, Kelly Belt is going to be going over that. How to build a referral-based business. And this kind of plays into that. And it's going to be a great webinar tomorrow about how to build a referral-based business. And this is what we're talking about right here. These Raven fans, you need to reward them for their referrals. And this is how you do it. So I thought Acorns had a great way of doing that. Of course, credit unions and banks do kind of something similar. But I thought that was amazing that they, you're going to put $100 in your account if you refer 5 friends and if they open an account today. All right, poll question. All right, people are willing to pay extra for great service. Now, in my experience, I know that I would pay extra for great service. It's just one of the things I like to do, is because I want to feel appreciated as a customer. I've done this with airlines, like certain airlines, they might have great flight attendants, great food, or I trust them. So I'll pay a little extra. Restaurants have great customer service, I'll pay a little extra. And that's the poll question that I just asked you, one of the ways that you can figure out if you're doing or giving great service is to evaluate yourself. And I hate to bring it up, but the post office does this quarterly. Not saying they give great service all the time, but quarterly they send in a secret shopper and they have a checklist of things within the customer service realm in the lobby that they go through. And this establishes a culture of you need to repeatedly, consistently, every day do the same thing within this customer service to deliver great customer service to your customers. And so that's where kind of like, it's almost like a forced buy-in, but it's still every postal clerk that's in the front with the blue shirts on, they have to go through this evaluation quarterly. And they don't know when it's coming. They don't know who it is, but they have to be consistently doing the same thing every day to provide great customer service. And I believe in most businesses, it'd be a great way to establish if you are actually giving great customer service. Because as the owner, you can't go in there and evaluate yourself objectively, because if you have a team or individuals that work for you, they're gonna always be on their best behavior. Or if it's anybody that they know come in, they're gonna always be on their best behavior. So sometimes you have to reach for an outside source to come in and kind of do an objective, survey or objective way of viewing how your customer service is. And is your customer service just satisfying, or is it a delight? And those are the kind of things that can create that great service that people be willing to pay extra for. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for attending the webinar today. I know it was a little, quick. I just wanted to get through here and give you some tidbits of how I feel about customer service. I thank you guys for having me today. I appreciate it. And don't forget, tomorrow, we're going to be doing building a referral-based business with Kelly Belt. And I thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, Paul. I think, let me see if we had a question in the chat box. Sorry, I think my whole screen is showing. Hold on one second. Let's hide that guy. And there we go. Okay. Let me go check this real quick. Oh, I think they were answering. We had several conversations going on in the chat box. We had one person ask, let me go back to it. Can you think of a company who, because of bad customer service, is no longer in business or is really struggling right now? And I thought there are a lot of restaurants that I'm like, I'm never coming back here again, but they're gone now. So.
Yeah, that's the industry that's the toughest. If you don't have great customer service, anybody can cook a burger. But if you don't have great customer service that goes along with that burger, you're gonna find yourself out of business really quick.
Yeah. A long time ago, I went to a restaurant in Houston, and I can't remember. Something was bad about the meal or whatever, and I'm not a Karen or anything, but there's a lot of those now, but their response to that I loved, and they said, we're so thankful that you expect more of us. And I love that response. Instead of getting offended because we weren't happy with something, they're like, thank you for expecting more from us. It's kind of like when you leave Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was a great example. When it doesn't matter which Chick-fil-A you go to, my pleasure, everybody. And that just, those two words,
It's amazing how just a little way, they tweak the way they, instead of saying, thank you for coming, they say, it was my pleasure. And it changes your whole mindset before you leave Chick-fil-A. It's like, wow, I can't wait to come back. That was amazing.
It reminds, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm just saying that, then that's the way you get those lifelong customers. Everybody can relate to the Chick-fil-A example. That's why I utilize that for consistency, because you can go across any Chick-fil-A in the world and it's going to be the same regardless. And it's amazing.
It's important. You also talked about the 68% of people will leave your business because of perceived indifference. And many, many years ago, 30 years ago, that kind of tells you how old I am. My first management position. I'm old. I used to manage a pharmacy. I had about 52 employees, it was a family of four different pharmacies. You know, a lot of my staff were younger people, younger than me, even me at 20. And one thing I had them all do is I said, whenever somebody walks through that door, you pretend there's a sign on their forehead that says, "Make me feel important." And I'm going to tell you that made a huge difference. You know, that's still important today. That was 30 years ago. But today, if you approach everybody with that attitude, you're just going to have a better life, period. It doesn't just apply to customer service. You do that with your staff. That's going to be something that it's going to make, you're going to have a better team. I mean, we'll just do that one little thing and just make me feel important, because everybody needs that, you know? It also goes back to treat others how you'd like to be treated, you know, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. So,
It's all about, what was it, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
yeah,
And it's in there. Everybody wants to feel like they're a part of something. They want to feel important,
that's right.
So customer service is based upon that. And it's easy, like certain people it's easy for, like, for me, it's always been easy for me because I was brought up that way. You treat everybody like you want to be treated. And my mom used to say, when you out there, if you see a woman, you treat her like she me. If you treat that guy like he's your dad. And then and she would do things like that to me. And
Yes.
it got into me. It just, I've always been in customer service. I've been in customer service almost 4 years, something like that. And everybody's like, you're always smiling, you're always happy. And I'm just like, that's just natural for me because it's in me, it's ingrained in me. So
Yeah, and if it's not natural for you, you know, we're all different. You know, make sure you got the right people in the right roles. If they don't like people, you probably don't want them in that position.
And that's what I kept reiterating about the team thing, because your teams, everybody's not going to be great at customer service. But what you can do for those people who need some work is give them a script. And the ones that are great at it, they can help you write the scripts. So it's one of them things where your team, you have to know your team. And if you know your team, you put them in a position to succeed. And therefore your business will succeed. And that's how it works.
That all ties together with making them feel important. You put them in the right roles and help them to excel. So the other point, it was earlier in the presentation, you know, a lot of times people think of be with and complaints, they put them together, even though we do such a small number compared to the number of people that actually use us for research. But a long time ago, I read a stat that said, people actually, your customers have a 97% chance higher, I gotta find this, they're 97% more likely to come back to you if they actually had a complaint, if they had a disagreement with you or something, but how you handled it, if you were able to resolve it, they're gonna come back. And that's, you know what I mean? That
Exactly.
with them, that's actually even higher than them just having one good experience with you. If they come back, don't give people bad experiences, please, people. But if they had a bad experience and then they came and resolved it with you, just like that restaurant I was talking about. Wow, that they cared. You know, they actually really, really cared. That's super, super important. But
that resonates with people.
it really, really does.
How you handle those, what I call the withdrawals, how you handle that. And, those negative situations that you kind of turn into a positive, and how you respond and the apologeticness and appreciate, like he said, instead of saying, I'm sorry, he said, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I appreciate you expecting more.
Yes.
Those words make you feel like, man, these people really care about, that I didn't have a great experience, but they're going to do something about it. I appreciate that. So it's always,
as you told everybody earlier, secret shop, like who, or it might've been Kelly, I can't remember, but one of y'all said yesterday, secret shop, what are these really, really great companies who are providing great experience doing? Copy it. You don't have to come up with something new or think out of the box. Somebody's already got something in the box. Just borrow it from their box.
Yeah, you go.
Your business. So,
you can try to copy it. Some things when you start trying to copy Amazon and Google and all those guys, it's kind of tough because, but other things you can copy. That's why I gave the example of like Walmart. It's like they're not super innovative, but what he did was he created a larger box, and you can copy certain ways that companies have done that you can establish in your own business. That will be very helpful.
Yeah, one of the questions in the chat box was what's your favorite rewards program? And a lot of people just kind of chimed in. Restaurant punch cards, Starbucks app offers great perks, same type of thing. You know, you can do it digitally makes it so easy. You know, Dunkin' Donuts free coffee. If the
Yep.
Patriots win, Kelly Page. That. That's great. It's great.
But see, yeah,
You come here
multiple
early,
ways
you're
to
probably
do
gonna
it.
get something else too, right?
Mhm.
So, um, you know, my husband is used to be in his former life was a user experience web developer, and so, but we always are looking for user experience is not just on the web. It's you know, opening up a package. You know, those like those plastic packages that are so hard to open. That's a bad experience. I think it's good to take a look at what your, you know, customers' user experience is and secret shop yourself, you know, as well, and make sure that is really smooth, you
Yes,
know.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You have to consistently do it too, you know, and that's why I brought that up because a lot of people don't think of that. You know, they go by little surveys or they wait for some negative comment or something like that. But being proactive is about trying to establish that foundation of excellent service before something negative happened, and then you just continuously evaluate yourself, and
Right.
hopefully with that evaluation you would exceed or the expectations of all your customers.
Yeah, you got to eliminate those pain points if you want them to come back. You really
Exactly.
do. But, well, thank you so much, everybody. Tomorrow, we hope you'll join us. You will receive a copy of tomorrow within 24 hours. You're going to receive a link to the YouTube video of this webinar, which will also basically take you through the playlist for this week. So you'll be able to look at the whole series and review everything. Somebody asked for the slides. Yesterday, Kelly sent us her slides. Would you also do the same thing? And basically, we're going to add it to our YouTube channel. So when you look at the webinar, the PDFs will be attached to that. So you can download the PDFs for the slides today. So somebody was asking for that latter slide, which I also thought was really good. So Kelly Belt will be our presenter tomorrow, and she's going to talk about building a referral-based business. So you want to make sure that your sales and customer service people also attend this one, and feel free to invite your friends and colleagues to our webinar for the series for the rest of the week, and then we've got a couple more next week. Effective time management, and then we've got the diversity workshop on Wednesday. So anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us. Same time, same place. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.